Vaccine hesitancy in the Latino community is understandable. I mean, we have traditionally been mistreated by medicine and the healthcare system for centuries.
This vaccine works extraordinarily well, extraordinarily few side effects. The thing is, it's our choice.
We also have to make sure that people have their basic needs cared for so that they can show up for those appointments. That means things like childcare, things like paid sick leave if you need to take a day off work so that you can get the vaccine.
We have communities that are mixed in terms of citizens, non-citizens. Sometimes people are very nervous about interacting with government. And let's face it, for good reason. We've seen folks worried about what their legal status is, maybe affecting their willingness to seek out help. And that creates an environment in which it's hard to run some of these campaigns.
There are still some real barriers and perceived barriers. 1 in 5 young Latinas are actually concerned about the cost of the COVID vaccine. And it's critical that everyone who's watching today understands that the COVID vaccines are absolutely free. Your tax dollars already paid for them.
Everybody who's listening or watching, you have more influence over your friends, your coworkers, your family members than anybody.
Talk to your tia, talk to your abuela, talk to your tios, talk to your primos.
If you have good information, then I'm confident that not only will you want to get this vaccination as quickly as possible, but I'm confident that you will then be equipped to be able to spread the good news that's going to help us finally put this pandemic behind us.
Hey, I'm Sean Morrow, host of the NowThis podcast, Who Is? You might remember me from those annoying ads you were subjected to at the end of videos for like 2 years.
Who are the people that run the world?
Things have changed a bit since I last saw you. Pandemic, insurrection, Emily in Paris getting nominated for a Golden Globe. But I'm still trying to figure out who are the people who run the world. On Who Is, the podcast, we examine power through the stories of the people who haven't. From mercenary forces, to the big businesses controlling your food, to a hedge fund manager who basically holds countries for ransom. To tell these stories, we bring in cool guests from people you've heard of, like Stacey Abrams, to people you haven't, like law professors digging into police union contracts, and reporters following the money that flows from the donor class to the politicians who supposedly represent all of us. 2 seasons, that's 32 episodes, are ready for you to binge. And we're back for season 3, where we'll look at the giant corporations that might ruin weed for everyone, the organizations who ensure police aren't held accountable for misconduct, and the wealthy interests who are fighting to keep America sick and unhealthy, so they can, make money off of it. Look for Who Is, the podcast, on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. That's Who Is, the podcast.